couple of months back, I was struck by a realization on why meaning and sharing your why with a business has become more important than ever, right? And it actually comes back to the Maslow hierarchy of needs. If you're not familiar with that, it's like, imagine like a pyramid, and then along the base you've got survival and, eating and shelter, and then above that you can then start getting into things like creativity and whatever, and then at the top you've got meaning and self-actualization, right? And the theory is that until the base layers are met, you can't get into things like self-actualization and meaning and ultimately happiness in life, right? If you don't have the basics in play, then the higher stuff isn't gonna factor in. For a lot of us, especially for maybe a millennial audience where there isn't a lot of money, we now have to make choices based on things like meaning, right? If I'm going to pledge my loyalty to a brand, especially if it's going to be something for the long term, then I want to make sure that it's going to be really valuable. It's going to be a worthwhile investment. It's why so many businesses are now pivoting into meaning as a differentiator, taking a stand for something that means something to their audience, or coming forth and communicating their story, or what inspires them, or why they are wildly passionate about how they deliver their service, or why they exist at all, as a business, right? Business is more than just the delivery of services. It can be a powerful source for doing good in the world, and your clients or your visitors want to know how they can be a part of that. So when you have limited funds and tons of options, right, you're not just playing on the level of clarity, although that can be a huge differentiator because not everybody's doing that very well online. But perhaps you're battling for attention, and your competitors are very good. They have great websites, or they have great branding, they have great testimonials, they have great customer service, right? Well, how do you stand out? Come back to meaning. Niche down, have a look at who is really your dream client, somebody that you would love to work with, who is, why are you in business in the first place? What is something that you believe about how the world should be? And what you'll then start doing is you will start filtering out from the traffic your dream audience, your target audience, the people that really you can serve best, and the people who best want the kind of service that you're offering. You also get this sort of residual impact of being super clear for a target audience. Doesn't just communicate with them, but it helps anybody else know who you are going after as a way for them to refer you to the right kinds of people. So when it comes to clarifying your brand, it's not just a matter of talking clearly. It's also a matter of communicating more effectively why you're there at all. And if you have a deep reason, or if you have a powerful story that's putting you in business, that could give you the edge that you need to stand out. Because again, people have limited funds, so they're not just shopping around based on availability. They're also shopping around based on what can I be loyal to, right? There's now a new element in how they're shopping. It's not just what shoes can I get? It's what shoes plus the story and maybe the cultural impact, the environmental impact, the societal impact, right? Or what it tells me about myself and the kinds of people that I'm aligning myself with. So what do you think? How are you differentiating yourself in terms of meaning? Do you have a reason why you're in business that is setting you apart from, say, your competition? But even more than that, that's just helping you align more cleanly, more closely with the kinds of people that you want to be working with, right? If it's like this great thing of what is it, like Microsoft and Apple, right? Microsoft is famously like focused on what is Apple doing next and how can we beat them. Apple is like, what is Apple doing with our clients and how can we beat Apple? How can we be focused on helping them more concretely? Don't quote me, it may not be true, but it's part of the legend. Same thing with us. We can keep one eye on our competition, but be more focused on who is our audience, and how can we create more meaning, more value for them. And sometimes it's not a matter of adding more features. Sometimes it's not about changing the dollar price. Sometimes it's just what meaning are we attaching to how this thing is delivered, what we do, what the product is. I'd love to know your thoughts. It's something that I'm deeply fascinated by, and helping businesses pivot into more, more of that meaning, more of that resonance with their audience. I'd love to know what you think.